Thanks for joining us today on the Big Blue Podcast. I'm Greg Stone, Southeast Campus Provost, and normally I am here with our president, Dr. Lee Goodson, but she is out today, and so I am joined by Carrie Schultz, who is our Senior Director of Marketing and Communications. Thanks for stepping in.
Oh, no, it's my honor. Thank you.
I asked Carrie yesterday if she would sit in today, so she's being the hero she usually is and jumping in, but your communications background considered, I think you're going to do just fine. And our guests today are Professor Jeff Stuckey, who is Assistant Professor of English at the Southeast Campus, and Justin West, who is one of our PTK chapter presidents, and we are here to talk about Phi Theta Kappa for a few minutes today. And in full disclosure, when I was a student at this institution myself, I was a member of our chapter here at Metro Campus, so I have a long history with PTK, and I loved that organization, and so I'm excited to talk about it.
So
Thanks for being
he's
here.
testing you.
There's
a test, I think.
There will be a quiz at the end, Justin. Let's start off by talking about what PTK is. We may have some employees, or there may be some students who listen from time to time who aren't really sure what Phi Theta Kappa is. Jeff, why don't you start off?
Sure. I think that's like kind of the million-dollar question, because so many students get invited to join, and then they feel like there's a, they don't know why there's a cost to join, what it is. So in a nutshell, Phi Theta Kappa is the International Honor Society for two-year colleges. Basically, it's not just a TCC thing. We're recognized essentially globally. We're based on four hallmarks, which Justin has taken note of really well. But because I've been doing it so long, I know it's a scholarship, leadership, fellowship, and service. Did I get it right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
You did.
So our main goal is just to recognize academic excellence. I think that so many of our students work so hard, and they're looking for that achievement beyond the letter grade, and so we kind of offer that to them. Membership is by invitation only. You have to have a 3.5 GPA to join, have completed 12 credit hours, and that really recognizes kind of the top tier of our students. I think that we kind of usually send out invitations to about 10%, the top 10% of our students. But once you join, it's a lifetime membership. The biggest benefit, and maybe Justin can speak more on this, is money. I think that for a lot of our students, they see that the scholarships are there. And certainly, I think because they're such high performers in the classroom, I think that they're going to have a scholarship opportunity, but Phi Theta Kappa, I think, gives them more. And of course, we also, through our regular meetings and campus events, we give our students a chance to grow, grow their leadership skills, get to know each other, bond. And they just got back, Justin, I'm sorry you didn't get to go, but our group just got back from Catalyst, which is the international conference where they get to meet up with about 4,000 other Phi Theta Kappa members, so they get to really go and understand what this is about. So it's just a great academic organization, recognizes excellence, and I love being a part of it. Justin, I'm going to turn it over to you. You tell me from a student perspective what you think.
Scholarship. That's the number one reason that people join. Yeah. There are scholarships that are exclusive just to PTK. So you have to be in PTK to get them, and no one else outside of the organization is allowed to try for them. But there's also the guaranteed scholarships. So most people here are working on a 2-year degree to transfer for 4-year bachelors or move on to masters and things like that. Well, NSU, OSU, TU, and OU all have non-competition scholarships that you automatically get just for transferring. TU's, for example, is $22,000.
I knew you were going to throw it out there.
Yeah, that's a biggie. But so all the local ones have them. I normally get, especially now around graduation season, maybe 5 to 10 emails a week from schools across the country trying to recruit me. And they don't even know I'm president. They just know I'm in PTK. Mm-hmm. They offer perks like honors housing, in-state tuition, tuition waivers, things like that. So scholarship-wise, it's definitely the number one reason that people join PTK, or students do anyway.
That's really impressive.
What's honors housing? Is that like a hot tub?
Oh, no. It's like a suite. Like instead of being able to reach out and touch your neighbor in some of the dorms, like you might move over a bit. Your hands get to there way up and down.
Instead of
300 square feet, you get 500 square feet.
Exactly.
Okay.
Personal space.
A bookshelves for all that studying.
Yeah,
right.
Yes.
Right.
All the extra books you need for that honors suite.
How did each of you become involved in PTK, and what have you learned from your individual experiences?
You go.
Okay.
My story is much too long. You go.
All right. Well, the first time I saw PTK was when I got the invitation. I had gone through my first semester. I was on the president's honor roll. I got a 4.0, and I got this email that said, you've been invited to an honor society. I'm like, yeah, no. So I opened it and I was starting to look at it, and then there's $85 to join. And I'm like, this is definitely a pyramid scam. But our chapter had Dr. Lemus, who ran orientation. So we got to go in and talk to somebody before we joined, before we paid the $85. He explained that it wasn't a scam, that it was actually worthwhile to join, that everything that Professor Stuckey has said, how it's a lifetime membership and there's all these benefits to it. And from there, I just grabbed it and go. I became the president here for Alpha Zeta Alpha, and our honors and action projects that we work on each year are huge, giant projects that take all year to complete. They range from sustainability, which is what ours is, to social issues. We've had several winners in the past. Our last project for sustainability through waste audits was one of the most disgusting things I've ever done, by the way.
I can imagine.
Summer garbage with squirming.
You know that song from Grease?
Wiggling.
Yeah.
Summer garbage.
There was diapers. There was diapers. Yep, there was diapers. But but that project found that 70% of everything was in the trash. I mean, 70% of everything in the trash was actually recyclable. So you can't fix a problem until you know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So using that data, we were able to give recommendations to the Sustainability Council here at TCC, and we will end up saving hundreds of thousands of dollars, along with the recognition we got as the top honors and action project at regionals out of 46 different honors colleges. So we made TCC look good. We made the schools save money, and all around it's just been a great experience.
Yeah, and you solved a big problem. I mean, Jeff, kind of related to Carrie's question, you've been a PTK advisor for several years, right?
This is true.
So give us some highlights from those years and what sort of drew you in to be an advisor in the first
Okay,
place.
so here, let me settle in.
Okay.
Because
We have 8 minutes.
Here's my yeah, we have 8 minutes. So before I was hired as a full-time faculty member in 2011, I worked in academic advising. I love those people. That's my second family. And that was the summer I was hired. But at that time, because I was a staff member, I was going to the staff meetings. They hold it every month. I was going to staff meetings. And in the summer I found out I was hired, I went to my last staff meeting, and they were, luckily enough, they were talking about student organizations at the staff meeting. And so I was thinking about, okay, I'm about to become a faculty member. I want to get involved. What can I do? And so one of my questions at that staff meeting was, how can a faculty member become involved in a student organization? And I remember this like it was yesterday. Heather Hancock, who was our Dean of Students, who's now Title IX coordinator here, she just launched out of her chair. She was in the front row. She launched out of her chair, turned around, pointed at me with both hands, and said, "Phi Theta Kappa." And that's what she said to me. And I was kind of sitting there just glossy-eyed, like, okay, I know what Phi Theta Kappa is because I've heard of this, and I thought, I'm a new faculty member, and they're going to trust me to lead what I feel is one of the, the kind of the gold standard of student organizations. But I stepped in and with kind of little knowledge about how to do it. Again, this is my first semester. I'm kind of the cautionary tale now with new faculty members. This don't take on so much as a new faculty member, but I jumped into so many things, and just really fell in love with the students, and they taught me a lot. That first group of officers taught me a lot, and so yeah, I've been doing it ever since. And I can tell you, what was the second part of your question? I'm sorry, you were asking me about kind of
Just sort of some of your
highlights.
Highlights. What are some highlights?
Oh,
Other
man.
than Justin and
well,
digging on the trash.
I got to tell you, working with Justin and Becca at West and Brianna here at Metro and Jessica, they have been phenomenal. I mean, I have been so impressed with what they've been able to do and how their minds work. I don't know if Becca McLaughlin, who's at West, did you know that she's on the USA academic team?
She just made USA All Academic.
Out of 20 students in the entire country, she is one of them, and I couldn't be prouder of her.
Yeah.
But over the past, I mean, I've had such a great opportunity to work with so many awesome student leaders, and so I'm very thankful for that. And I learn more from them than I think they learn from me.
Awesome.
So.
I'm Carrie Schultz, and I'm here with my co-host Greg Stone, and you're listening to the Big Blue Podcast. Our guests today are Jeff Stuckey and Justin West, and we're here to talk about PTK and the incredible success that our students have been having with this organization.
PTK here at TCC has really made a difference in my life. Through the projects we've worked, they've enabled me to build skill sets that will be worth way more than the leadership title of president of PTK. I want to transfer to Oklahoma State University for computer science. If I can scratch together enough scholarships, I might be able to make it to TU. But we'll see about that. But PTK overall has increased my ability to do leadership, to tackle large projects, and allowed me to bond with other students that they excel in what they do. The other honor roll students, it's really been a pleasure to work with other people that have a drive as much as I do.
Jeff, just really quickly before we get to the last question that Carrie will ask, which is the big question, which is the question we ask everybody who comes on the podcast. Before we get to that, congratulations. You fairly recently, just back in March, I think, Jeff, were given the Horizon Award at Regionals.
Yes.
For outstanding advising.
Something like
Right?
that, yeah.
Something of outstanding advisor in the region. That's got to be a good feeling, particularly when, given the story that you shared about being ID'd by Heather to get involved, right? You sort of come to the end in
Right.
a relatively short period of time. What's that recognition mean to you?
So, it means everything to me, really. I think that it was a surprise. I think that whenever they started to kind of go down, whenever our regional coordinator, Doc Robinette, she's out of Hot Springs, Arkansas, she was kind of going through what the award this is an award that she gets to pick because she's closer to the advisors in our region, and she likes to kind of note who's kind of going above and beyond and who she sees like real potential in kind of becoming a leader in the region. And so, sitting there listening to that, I'm going, that sounds pretty good. That sounds like maybe something I could do, but I don't know. And then she calls my name, and I was just floored because it's something that, because this is her first year as a coordinator, it also means a whole lot for me because of all the people that she could have picked. That she called my name, and I talked with her afterward. I thanked her for the honor and said, I'm humbled by this. I really appreciate it. And she said that, she's recognized the fact that, here at TCC, the advisors go above and beyond to help people that aren't even in their chapter. I mean, we're all Phi Theta Kappa, but we have 4 different chapters, and so my chapter's at Southeast, Justin's at Northeast. And so what she noticed is when we went to these conferences and when I was working with the students is she saw that we came together as one chapter. Didn't matter where we kind of our chapter name, but we came back with one chapter, and she kind of thought that was a really great thing, and so I think so too. But it was a great honor to get, and I really appreciate her awarding it to me.
I want to second that. Professor Stuckey's been great. He drove us to regionals. He's there. His enthusiasm bleeds out into the rest of the group. Yeah. We pick up on that, and it helps us get our projects done. It helps us at PTK.
Thank you.
All right, now I have the last question, which is the big question. And this is for both of you. If you could go back in time and give your 18-year-old self a piece of advice before you started college, what would it be?
I guess I'll go first.
Since you were most recently 18 of anyone around this table.
Hey, now, wait a second.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Find what you love and get somebody to pay you to do it.
Wow.
That's good advice.
How can I top that? Just become engaged, ask questions. For me, college didn't work out right away, and I think it's because I wasn't as engaged as I could have been. So find ways to just immerse yourself in the experience and find a mentor, ask questions. That would be my advice.
Excellent advice. As we end the Big Blue podcast, we want to thank Professor Jeff Stuckey and Justin West, who also, we should quickly say, recently just got back from Great Plains Honors Conference.
And National Council of Undergraduate Research.
And NCUR, okay. Yeah, you've been busy.
I told him he's not doing enough.
He's not doing enough. Quit slacking off, Justin. And I want to thank Carrie Schultz for hosting with me today. Remember, you can catch the Big Blue podcast each week in the week at TCC and on the Creativity channel at YouTube, and we will see you next time.